Hey everybody, how's it? Aloha, this is Jeeves here, your old composer here at the Decomposer Lounge. Yes. I just dropped Skillet 2 hours ago. Why am I doing this? It's because I completely blew it. I promised my brother that I would do it this week, and I've never done a track for my brother on this channel since it started, and he just wanted to get on me for this, so he did, and he goes, dude, why haven't you and I went, all right, I'm sorry, here we go. Iron Maiden, Run for the Hills. Ron, this is for you. I apologize, man. I'm bad older brother, what can I say? Guys, as usual, as you know, if you'd like to buy me a cup of coffee, because you know these don't monetize my channel, I'd make no dollar. You can buy me a cup of coffee, the link will be down below. Or if you want something for your money, maybe check out the Patreon. I've got all kinds of tracks that I've put up there. I just did an Opeth track. I've got some lyrical reviews from like Tool or System of a Down and all kinds of other tracks from the members of Patreon. What I do on Patreon stays on Patreon. So anyhow, let's do this thing. All those headsets, link. I just woke up. I mean, I didn't, but I did. But I'm just second cup of coffee. All the links will be down below. All right, guys, I'm sorry. I'm just blathering on here. That's an old man term, right? Blathering on? No, I'm kidding. I'm sorry. Oh my God, I'm looking forward to the weekend. All right, here we go. Iron Maiden, Run to the Hills. All right. All right, there's so many things about this track that I love, and so many things about this track that bring me back into my soundtrack of life, because I'm an old guy. I remember when this was, released way back in the day. Well, not way back in the day, but one of the things that really caught me up front was the sound of the kick at the very beginning. There's many, I've mentioned this before, there's many different techniques in engineering in miking a kick. Mic in, mic out, put a pillow in the inside, nothing on the inside with the mic, and then take the blanket and put it on top. So many different ways, but this sounds like they just let this sit organically as its own. Now, where mic placement it was, I don't know, but it sounds like mic placement was probably right at the rim, right at the tip of the rim and everything. But what I love about it is that there is a ring of the bass drum that's natural. So you go back and listen to this. It's got its natural ring to it from it being hit. So there's no muffling going on. But they also have it sounds like there's a little wide plate on it, a reverb that gives it a nice little push to it. Now the melody of the riff, that's also being duplicated by the vocalist. What I love about what's going on there in the first verse is I love where the bass is positioned in the mix. I'm a musician of all types. I played drums, guitar, bass. I still do. And not so much drums anymore because I don't have space for a drum kit. But I love where the mixing is, where that bass is really fat. It's really in your face. The bass is in your face. And it's actually a little in this mix. It looks like this says this is a remaster, but the remastering doesn't mean that it's remixed. For those of you who don't know, whenever you see the word remastered, is what they've done is they've taken a track that was analog mastered, and what they did is they put it through that finishing process. It's like a finishing touch or a finishing gloss on a surfboard or anything of that nature. Or for those of you who are craftsmen, you know what I'm talking about. And what they do is they reprocess the original mix with today's technology. So sometimes it makes it a little more crispier, a little less, or a little more compression or something on it, and maybe using techniques to maybe split the sound a little wider, make it a little more crispier, a little re-EQ. And then the classic hook sound of that time in production is, there's so many different elements, and the voice, of course, but that classic hook sound and background vocals is just hits me right here. It just automatically brought me back into junior high school, because that was part of my soundtrack of life. Anyhow, yada yada yabba dabba doo. Let me bring it back a little bit here.
Soldier blue in the barren wastes, hunting and killing's a game, raping the women and wasting the men. The only good Indians are tame, selling them whiskey and taking their gold, enslaving the young and destroying the old. Run to the hills, run for your lives, run to the hills, run for your lives.
Love that guitar solo. Just once again, for all of us who listen to Iron Maiden, and this is an important part of our soundtrack of life, there are certain things that, now that I've gone through this journey on this channel, I've heard so much incredible work by so many bands and all the subgenres and stuff. Just for me, just because of how important the soundtrack of life is to all of us, when we hear certain things, it just reminds me of the days of when solos were played once through. There's no punching in, there's no fixing it, there's no cleaning, there's the human element in it and in the performance. But I liked how they washed that out in a reverb, which was really nice. I don't mean washed it out like the word washed out means exactly that, but they really put a nice reverb behind that, no delay, anything. Two other things I want to say before we end the song. Number one, the drumming. I was not that good of a drummer. I could play drums. I was in a couple bands, but I wasn't that good. I didn't have that kind of stamina. And that, with four on the floor going and stuff like that. And the fills that are double that, I wasn't that good. Maybe if I would have, practiced a little harder. But that stamina and that gallop that the guitar and the bass are doing is so cool. We don't hear that. We don't hear a lot of that anymore. As a matter of fact, I can't recall really any tracks that I've heard in the last 20 years of what I would call, the core metal movement of newer generations have any of that style. And that gallop is, and it's just that whole stamina, that whole feeling, that whole vibe just brings me back to, Schwinn bicycles and Nobby in the front and BMX, we were all starting to take our banana seats, and it's just, for me, you can tell I'm lit right now because it reminds me of those days when you would trick out. For me, I was tricking out my little Schwinn, to be motocross and the whole thing. Jeez, that was the good old days. All right, let me just go back. Boy, here we go.
Run for your life.
last time you heard a band, at least recently, end a song that way? I mean, isn't that like full concert ending? I just, all of a sudden, that's why I almost got up out of my seat. I was like, yeah! Anyhow, you can see I'm just in a really super good mood because it really brought back some great memories. And the hook, the run for your life, that is such a standout hook. The melody in that is so strong and it's so memorable, you know? And, you know, of course, the harmonies on that, you know, I think rock in a lot of its glory was based around singers that have very high, powerful ranges, you know, and it still seems to be that way. Some of the more super progressive bands that I really have listened to, Periphery comes to mind just for the moment and stuff, where they still have incredible voices and incredible ranges and stuff. It's also the harmonic use of the composition, the arrangement of those voices that draws me into a lot of things, and these kind of harmonies on, you know, this Iron Maiden track were one of those things that bring me through. But then it also reminds me of other bands I would listen to. So whether it be at Boston or Styx, right? Kind of that same kind of very powerful harmonies and composition and stuff when it came to it. But anyhow, yeah, you know, two today, Ron, and then my brother, sorry it took so long. It's an older brother Phil here, so, you know. Anyhow, guys, listen, thank you so much. I don't know if I mentioned this in my Skillet video, but I'm now going to do one video a day every day for October because I'm going to be doing a shift of things here on the channel in November if I decide to still continue to do the channel. I don't know. Maybe I don't know. I don't know what I know. I don't know. Anyhow, you want to buy me a cup of coffee, the link is down below. The link is down below for the headsets and the Patreon. Check that out if you want a little something for your money instead of just buying me a cup of coffee. You can go check that out too. You guys take care. Have a great weekend. I'll see you tomorrow. All right, guys, take care. Aloha.
All right.